How's it going? Knots. Some useful knots for camping. Alright, this one's pretty easy. This is a tensioning hitch for guy lines or guy ropes on tents. It's no good if it's really windy, but it's good if it's just to set it up in calm conditions. So it's pretty easy. You go around once and then back around twice. Super easy. Pull that tight and then you can slide that knot up and down on the rope. Do you fellas see that one? I know, pretty tricky, eh? Alright, we'll try that again. This is your tail end of the rope, so you make a loop, go back round the loop, and then you make another loop and go back round twice. Once, twice. Pull it tight, super easy, and then that won't slide. It will slide if it's under constant dings and dangs from wind, but oh, just tie that tight. It's not meant to slide. Tighten up a bit. There we go. So that's just a tensioning hitch. Now if it's really windy, you don't really want to tie one of those because it might come loose and you'll have a saggy tarp in the morning. So if it's super windy, what you want to do is twist 1, 2, 3 times, make a loop, pull another loop through that loop, and then you go round your stake, come back up through that loop, and then pull it tight. There you are. That's just a really easy hitch. Super easy to do. That's a basic trucker's hitch. Basic trucker's hitch. Alright, another really good knot is the clove hitch. If you're tying it around a carabiner, this is the quickest way to tie it. You cross your hands on the rope and you bring the loop back round and back together and go straight through a carabiner. It's great to be able to tie it that way, but you also need to be able to tie it around a rope or tie it around something. And for that, I'm going to use this tomahawk here. So once again, really easy, you just wrap it once, come back over, cross back over, and then there's a bit of a loop down the bottom there that you can go back through and come back through that loop. That's a clove hitch. Now the advantage of a clove hitch, it's a very strong knot, and if you pull on either of those ropes, it locks itself off. This is a really good knot, and I quite often use this for camping. When I'm tying my guy ropes in, I'll just go around the bush or around the stake or whatever, and then I'll do once and then back through again. I'll just do a clove hitch back onto that knot, and super easy, super quick to undo. Or I'll come around, and then when I come back through, I'll just pull a bight of rope through and leave a loop and leave a tag, and then it locks itself off, and it's really quick and easy to undo. I probably use the clove hitch more than any other knot. It's just so quick, so easy, super strong, and a clove hitch with a bight hanging out of it is a quick release knot. You can undo it really quick. Alright, another knot, bowline or bowline. It's pretty easy. You just make a loop, come through that hole that you've made, go around the rope and back through the loop. There we go, bowline or bowline. Now the advantage of this knot, it's really easy to undo after it's been put under tremendous strain. Disadvantage, if it's shaking around like that, the knot can actually work itself loose and this tail can come back out through the rope and undo itself. One way to stop that is by doing a follow through bowline. So you do your normal bowline and then you just come back around and you follow that line, oops, come back around this way, you follow that line back, up, and then you come back through the hole. So you just follow one of the lines or one of the cords back around and through. That's a follow through bowline, and that prevents it coming undone as easy, and yet it's still a very strong knot and still easy to undo once it's been put under tremendous load. Another really useful knot to know is the figure of 9. It's like the figure of 8, it's to put a loop in something. So the figure of 8, here we go. The figure of 8 is one of the strongest knots you can use. When it's been put under tremendous load, it won't break very easily. Disadvantage is it's very, very hard to undo. So a figure of 9, instead of making an 8 shape, you just go around once more. I don't think it really makes a 9 shape, it's just called a figure of 9. It's almost as strong as a figure of 8, and then once it's been put under heavy load, you can undo it easily. So this is a knot I'd use if I was going to quickly whack over a tow ball to tow someone out. Super quick, super easy, and still relatively easy to undo. If you're having trouble undoing your knots, you can bash them with the rock. Be aware though that if you do bash a knot with a rock or a hammer or whatever, it can weaken the rope. What's another really good knot for camping? Another really good knot for camping is the sheetbend. The sheetbend. This is used to join two ropes together. It's also a really good knot to join vines together. or bits of flax or roots from trees, because it's a very strong knot. You just make a loop, you bring the other end of the rope back up through that loop, making a loop. There we go. And then you can go around once, that's a single sheet bend, or you can go around twice, that's a double sheet bend. And then you just pull it tight, and there you go. You've got two ropes tied together. Super quick, super easy knot, and once again a very strong knot. The sheet bend is very similar to the bowline. If you tie a sheet bend and a bowline, they almost look like the same knot, but different. Same but different. Okay, another knot, another really good knot is the Alpine Butterfly. A couple of different ways to tie that knot. You can do 3 twists in the line, and then you see you've got a middle twist there. You come below the bottom of the knot and back up through the middle twist. There we go, and then you pull it tight from opposing ways. That's one way to tie it. Another way to tie it is to wrap it around your hand. 1, 2, 3 times. So you've got 3 wraps on your hand. Whoop, let me just show you there. Here we go, 3 wraps on the hand. Once you've got those 3 wraps, you grab this middle wrap and you come back under, back around and back through all 3 of the wraps. And once again, when you load it, you pull in opposing directions, and that loads the Alpine Butterfly. This is a really good knot to just use as a dropper loop. It's also a very strong knot, and if you've got a weak point in the rope, you can take the weak point out of the rope by tying this knot. So to take a weak point out of a rope, you just wrap it around 3 times, and you make sure that the weak point is right where this middle rope is. And once again, you pull it back under, up, and back through the 3 wraps, and then load it from the side. Alpine Butterfly. You can even use an Alpine Butterfly to tie 2 ropes together. It's a little bit tricky. You do 1, 2, and then you just pretend that that's the weak point in your knot where the 2 ropes meet. Let me just flick that around for you holding it. See, I've got my 2 rope ends as the middle rope, and then once again just pull those through, under the wraps, back up through. There we go. Once again, load it from the sides, and you've just joined 2 ropes together using the Alpine Butterfly. I do prefer a sheet bend to tie ropes together, but this is another method you can use to tie 2 ropes together. More knots. Geez, there's so many knots out there. There really is. So many knots. Anyway, those are my basic go-to camping knots. Pretty easy for setting up flies. Now, I like to do quick release knots. That's why I really love the Clove Hitch, because you can tie a quick release Clove Hitch on a bite, or with a bite in the Clove Hitch, and it's very strong, very tight, and then when you go to undo your fly, you just pull it and it comes undone. No mucking around the next day. Super easy, super quick.